views and opinions expressed on Geeks Under the Influence are that of the panelists and not of our sponsors, Amazon.com and TeePublic. Parental discretion is advised.
I think it gives me hope to think that all movies are set in the Batman cinematic universe. Like, you know that he's there in every movie you watch, and it makes them all better, even shitty movies.
Well, and also TV shows. There's a number of times that there's a TV show that just doesn't know how to stick the landing.
Yep.
Like me in karaoke, where I'm like, I'm going to sing this song. And then halfway through the song, I realize there's a high part that I forgot about when I got up on stage. And I go there and go, ah! And it's bad. Like, there's so many series that do the same thing. And if you just have Batman in the background, you're going to get a lot more forgiveness. Like Lost. If Batman was just there, hanging out, and they're like, it's purgatory. And it's like, purgatory is knowing your parents are dead. And then it's like, it's just going to be a better conclusion, I think.
Yeah. No, what I was going to say was, if you think about it, Batman would be happening in the background of any movie anyways, because other things are happening in the background of Batman. So, you know, people are eating in restaurants, people are going to the movies, and then there's Batman.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's Batman. I think Batman has a place in every film. I used to think it was ninjas, but that's a little too much. Just Batman is fine. Even just jumping from building to building.
Ninjas are too distracting. Batman is the shadows, so
yeah,
he can't
is the
be
shadows.
distracting.
Yeah.
Even though he's projecting the bat symbol up until the fucking moon, but whatever, you know? He's got a little bit of like that theater kid angsty situation going on.
But what about surf ninjas?
Whoa.
But what if surf ninjas, like they're on the boat in the first surf, is that surf ninjas?
There's three ninjas and then there's surf ninjas.
I'm thinking three ninjas where they end up on the boat, like fighting the thing.
Are those different movies or are they like a sequel and a...
I think Surf Ninjas is different. I don't think it's in the same. It's not in the same ninja cinematic universe as Three Ninjas.
No,
that's
the MCU is so underrated, honestly.
But see, then you can get into like Ninja's Batman universe and be like, okay, well, Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are in the same universe.
Whoa.
Technically, the Ninja Turtles were playing with the tools of Daredevil. That's why the Foot Clan is making fun of the Hand, which is the ninja organization in Daredevil. So technically it would be Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, I think any series, I mean, there's so many series that happens that are just, it's the conclusion is garbage. I mentioned Lost, but there's a ton of them. Where they just can't stick the landing. What we are talking about tonight is disappointing season finales. Not just because Batman is not present for these shows, but because there is that build-up where people are obsessed with the series. They want to have a satisfying conclusion to all these characters that they've come to know and love over all these years, developing like this fandom and this appreciation and this world that all these characters live in. And at the end, you've got somebody showering and then everything's like not real. I think that was the thing they did with Roseanne, where there was that batshit crazy season where they won the lottery, and then they had weird, like, that they were like different multiverses of Roseanne or something. And at the end, it was just a dream that they decided was the thing.
Well, and they end it with her like on the floor in the bathroom with the door closed, like sobbing uncontrollably. And it's like, you're already let down, and so then we're going to add deep sorrow onto the top, you know, and it's like, oh, JK, Dan is dead, and she cannot get over it, and she has a psychic break. Bye.
That's like, hope she's okay, because we're never going to see her again.
We're going to talk about the mechanisms that make that kind of finale happen in the first place, and also some of the examples in the world, which there are plenty of these different series that just really don't know how to stick the landing. We're talking about disappointing series finales on this episode of Geeks Under the Influence. Very fun conversation, I think. This is a nice, like, open-ended conversation about series that we've come to know and love. Plenty of spoilers. I don't even know what they're going to be about yet, but just know a lot of these stuff we're going to be talking about has been out for a while, so hopefully you've seen it or aren't that worried about it. But
we came with grievances and we're ready to air them.
Yes.
I was thinking about that here on the way here. I was like, oh my God, we're just going to spoil so much
stuff.
Shit.
Yeah.
So be forewarned, that is part of the process. So welcome to this episode of Geeks Under the Influence. excited for this episode because, yes, I have to air grievances and not just about Battlestar Galactica, but that is definitely going to be part of the conversation for me.
Yep.
At least, yes.
We're all just going to support you from afar, I think.
Yeah. I think we'll all dig into Game of Thrones together.
Oh, God, yes.
Yes,
sure.
that'll be the really connective
the glue
tissue.
that binds us together.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be Dexter if I have to make a prediction.
Oh, well, no, I am excited for that conversation.
I got a lot.
Because
of
we
thoughts.
got a Dexter head on this episode.
You could
so-
say that. You could say
a
that.
stan, really.
A stan.
Yeah. I like Dexter.
Yeah, the one that likes Dexter and is going to be fighting every inch of us shitting on the hurricane that is the last episode of the original series.
The last season, really. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm just jumping in.
The last like 3 seasons, really. But
All right.
Tori Sipe is here.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello, a pop culture stan, I guess, in general.
Enthusiast, yes.
Enthusiast. Where can they find your blogspot stuff?
Yeah. So you can follow me on TikTok at Tori Sipe, and I'll post pop culture things, some NSYNC things, you never know. And then also
some NSYNC things.
some, mostly a lot.
She dabbles.
I dabble.
NSYNC standum.
I dabble in that. And then also my website is letstalkpop.net.
Nice.
I'm amazed that no one had that before you got it. That is
I
such
know.
a no-brainer.
I know. Now it's mine. Someone did have .com.
I do wish it was
Which-
letstalkpop.edu because I mean you're schooling these hoes.
Thank you so
You're welcome.
much. I try. I mean, watching many years of TV alone in my room helped.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of schooling these hoes, next up is a confectionery goddess
Oh,
that will
truly.
school anybody on the nature of the proper ratio of cake to topping, as we saw with the diva cake that Miss Amy Bogarde got for her last birthday.
Oh, the best cake of my life. It was incredible.
Incredible. It had a glitter explosion in the core.
Sure
It was
did.
Fucking fantastic.
I mean, it's RuPaul. I had to do her proud.
It was
so.
incredible.
Yeah. A first timer on Geeks Under the Influence.
Virgin.
Got Amy Roberts here.
Be gentle.
Hi.
Hi.
We've been trying to find the right episode for you to come on to. And I think this is a good one because it's such a general topic and everybody has those series finales that hurt them so deeply. Like you find out that like your cousin like kicked a dog.
Right.
And you're like, what? No, Steve?
Yes.
Steve did that. Are you
Yes.
fucking kidding me? I smoked weed with that guy. Like you're so mad. And then you find out he does some dismal shit. That's what we're talking about. And everybody has that experience. So I'm happy to have you on. I'm disappointed that you didn't make a thematic cake to bring with you.
I have no kitchen currently.
Oh, that's right. You're doing a
I have
whole
no
huge
kitchen.
thing.
Yeah.
Which means more cakes in the future.
Correct.
So,
All
yay.
right.
Yes, bigger and better.
I'm going to invite you over for stuff that you have no understanding of. I'm like, we're talking about the Shadowrun game. Can you come over? And you're like, I don't know. And it's fine.
Yeah.
Bring a cake.
Right.
You're like-
I'll get a text and you'll be like, chocolate, salted caramel.
Right, exactly. And Shadowrun is a very like chocolate strawberry vibe, if that makes sense to you. I don't know. Just talking off the top of my head.
Speaking about my personal chocolate strawberry.
Oh
is
God. Ugh. Really?
Never
No.
again?
No,
Okay.
fuck no.
All right. Yeah. It would normally be Lowdown.
Yeah.
But
True.
in his lack of appearance on this episode, scheduling issues, as it tends to happen. As we get older, less time to do shit and more shit to do. It just is the nature of the beast. But
Life.
fortunately for all of our listeners, we've got my partner on Deeply Upsetting and in Life. Amy Bogarde is here.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Gonna do my best lowdown impression for the rest of the show.
Unreasonably angry about stuff.
Probably not, because I'm a
Okay.
big like piece of frosting. But I'll do his lines. Yeah.
You're just talking about the very end of the episode. It really is.
What's up, everybody? Is part of it, right?
No, what's up,
That's part-
everybody? That's his thing. But that there's
Check.
that, and then shut the fuck up, Hobbit.
Oh
That's
yeah,
like
I'm
the two
obviously
things.
psyched about that. That's the best part.
Yeah, that is the best part.
I only come on when I can co-host, so I can do that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I saw her like mouthing it into the mirror earlier. She's like, "Shut the fuck up, Hobbit."
Even though nobody can see me listening to the episode, I still wanted to like put it on for the guests.
Yeah,
Obviously,
absolutely. Yeah.
it's got to feel right. Hello, and last but not least, the host with the most, the founder of GUI, And no, I'm not going to do like a gross dessert thing because I hate it. And it made my skin crawl just thinking about it. Cool. It's Mike the Hobbit.
Yay.
Hi.
Check out Geeks Under the Influence and all the other shows on the GUI network at GUIpodcast.com.
Yes.
Make sure to rate, review, subscribe to this show and all the other shows. Let us know you want to hear on future episodes. And join us on social media. All the links are on our website. So join the conversation. Tell us what you think. Bother us regularly. There's so many of us at this point. Somebody's going to respond to you. We appreciate it. So, on to the subject matter at hand. The one thing that I wanted to start with is kind of the nature and how these shows get so out of hand. And I think part of it is that there's a totally different approach to series in the United States as there is to other countries. Like the UK, for example, it's pretty standard that a lot of shows, and it's changing. They're adopting a little bit more of that American standard, but it used to be that you're getting 2, 3, maybe 4 seasons tops on a lot of shows. So the writers would normally have a pretty clean arc on what was happening. And then you had, well, besides like Doctor Who and a couple other shows that were carrying on. And then, of course, Downton Abbey, I think, is one that they're like, let's just keep this motherfucker going. Like they're just letting it roll.
That's true.
But American television, there is a point, and it's the jump the shark moment, which was from a Batman episode, the 66 Batman, but also is talked about as the moment that the series kind of loses track of what it's supposed to be.
Wait, is that where it came from? I thought it was from Happy Days because he literally jumps over a shark.
He jumps over a bus, doesn't he? Or...
No, Fonzie jumps over a shark.
Fonzie jumps over a shark.
Yeah. Oh, it is from Happy Days.
Yeah.
No, there's also there's a shark fighting moment in Batman that is also a parallel that he has shark repellent.
Okay, fights the shark is way better than jumps the shark. Why did we take that?
Right? Why didn't Fonzie fight a shark?
I mean, that would have been way better.
Bare knuckle boxing with a shark. Yeah. But no, you're correct. It is from Happy Days where he like jumps over a shark or something, and they're like, okay, that's the moment where everything went downhill for that series, and there was a lot of disappointment from the fans. We're talking about that aspect with series, but also the very end episode, and there are some that you expect it to be bad because the last seasons are bad, and then there's sometimes where they just drop the ball really hard on the very last episode, the most important episode, and it just kind of fucking dies.
Oh, it's painful, really.
Yeah. And I think The Office is an example on where they actually, they did okay with the last episode.
Yes.
But they were wavering so fucking hard because they pushed that series too long.
Yeah, exactly.
When Carell left, that should have been it.
Oh, yeah. They did not know what to do with it after that point. And there were tons of great people on it. I mean, Will Ferrell, Kathy Bates, all these great actors that just had nothing that they could work from because the scripts were bad. The script was bad. And I feel like that's kind of what we run into with a lot of these shows that we really, really love, is that it's not like the actors got worse. It's that the scripts got worse. They didn't plan it from the beginning. And so they were, like you were saying, just like ride this bitch till the wheels fall off. And like the wheels fell off a long time ago. It's just like screeching across the concrete.
Well, and like the thing with The Office was that the Michael character, or what he was, like the goofy heart of the show. So it was literally like a heart transplant. Like you took the heart out of the show. So it's like you can try and inject the comedy in to fill the space, but it's still like hollow at that point.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like Michael is dumb and he makes mistakes and like you cringe, but you're like, oh man, like he's always meaning well. Like the heart is always behind it.
Sure.
So they took that away.
Yeah, he's the show.
Yeah.
There's like other shows like that too, where some of the main people leave and it like goes on. And even like shows that are just like more shorter lived, like Community, like everyone kept dropping off.
Yeah.
And I mean, that lasts, I get it, 6 seasons in a movie. I understand.
Totally.
But it needed to end at 5. I mean,
4 though.
I mean,
no, 5 was good.
See, 5 was the redeeming season, and it should have ended. And you know, fans would have been like, "said, oh, there's not." But it's just like too many people had left, and it just was a hot mess.
It was really, I think it was season 3 when Donald Glover left. Was that correct? Or,
no,
was that? Or
no,
was that
he
5?
left later.
Okay, because the Lava World episode was the last episode that he was on, and I really enjoyed that episode. It definitely felt like it was in to replace the paintball episodes that were from previous seasons.
Yeah.
And that was very fun. Okay, I just double checked to make sure it was actually season 5 was Lava World.
Oh, okay.
So that makes
season
more
5
sense.
is good.
Yeah, because season 4 is a garbage fire. They tried to do like a Muppet thing, and like I am obsessed with the Muppets.
Yeah,
with Sarah
that was
Bareilles, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
And that was so jarring. It was so jarring. And not fun. But like Lava World was great, and also a great send off to the character.
To Troy. That's when Troy left, was the Lava World episode. Or he introduced that he was leaving. So then he left on the next episode, I think. And that was the end of season 5.
Yeah. That was the end of season 5. So that should have been the natural conclusion to the series. Because then you have like season 6, which is total garbage.
Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Season 6, just if you ever want to get through it, because we did get through it, but like, let me introduce you to the concept of being on your phone. And that's how you watch it.
Yeah.
A lot of being on your phone. And then it's just like kind of in the background. It's pleasant. There's voices you like, but then there's also plenty of new characters that they tried to shoehorn in and be like, they're lovable too. We love them.
No.
That is a big thing that happens is, with a lot of disappointing series finales, is that it's that last season or last 2 seasons where one of the main characters leaves, like Tori was saying, and they introduce a new character that might be a decent character, not in Communities.
No, they sucked.
Yeah, that was terrible. But an example is X-Files, where David Duchovny left the show, and then they had Robert Patrick come in and be like Scully's partner for the last part of this series. And he wasn't bad in the role, but it lost all of its charm. Like you can't do that. You can't just like heartily replace people with people. You can't do it. And then at the very end, they shoehorn in that like David Duchovny's alive, but he's been like in prison or something. And it's this whole thing. Yikes. And then they come out with this weird X-Files movie that seems like a long episode where they're trying to explain that they've been together and they have a child or something. And it's just garbage nonsense and nobody cares. And so angry.
Yeah, that happened with That 70s Show. Because
yes.
I
forgot.
Josh Myers was really likable. Originally, he was going to play Eric, and they were going to say he came back from Africa and he got in an accident and his face is different. And thank God that they did not do that, because that would have completely derailed, ruined, just garbage. And, you know, it was like, it's whatever. And then the finale was like nice, and Eric shows up for the finale, and honestly, the finale is like, okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. But like that last season was just very unnecessary because Eric left to be a movie star and Venom and Spider-Man.
Yeah, that worked out real good for him.
Very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can I introduce an unpopular opinion? And like, I don't care, boo me. So I'm just prepping. I hate, speaking of that 70s show, when shows introduce a couple that they're like, this is bad, nobody's gonna like this, and then people fucking love it. And so my example of that was Jackie and Hyde on that 70s show. Yeah. Or this is where I really feel like the controversy comes in. I'm gonna go ahead and say Joey and Rachel on Friends.
I knew you were gonna say that. No,
Joey and Rachel forever. No. Ross sucks shit. He's the worst character ever written. He's so bad. And so like they brought that and then they ripped it away from me, and I needed it.
Ross is like the most gaslighty piece of shit.
Yeah. Trash.
Yeah.
Homophobic.
Person. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. Sexist, honestly.
Look, it was what we had to watch in the early 90s.
I know, but don't give me Joey, who is a pure soul.
No, true.
An angel on this earth, truly, that Rachel deserves. And he's so good, and he like doesn't, you know, get inappropriate with her.
At that
and
point, he's good.
Well,
they
like,
do
he was not a misogynist, but he was definitely like not problematic. He was a
fuckboy.
He was a fuckboy.
Yeah. He was an ultimate fuckboy.
He's an Italian fuckboy.
Yep.
If you watch, they spend the series slowly dumbing down Joey.
That's true.
He is really like right on there with the other guys and the rest of the cast at the start. And then they realize, oh, when he makes dumb jokes like everybody, and they slowly dumb him down.
That's an argument I've had about all the characters in Friends, is that Monica becomes more neurotic. So does Chandler. Chandler gets like super fucking weird, neurotic.
Are you saying Chandler?
Yeah, I heard it too.
Chandler. I felt like I
was like, who's Chandler?
I felt like my brain was breaking. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
No, but Phoebe gets way more new agey as the time goes on. Everybody just gets into their little
niche,
little niches,
Yeah.
and then they just expand on that even more and more. There's the episode where Monica has the closet full of garbage, and it's like this huge thing. She's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna break up with me because I'm messy," and he's like, "No, I love you in spite of how clean you are." And everybody becomes this caricature of themselves.
Yeah.
And Joey is definitely an example of that, where he becomes too dumb to live by the end. Like that he should have just like walked into traffic because I don't understand what streets are, and just walks into traffic.
But in like the conversation that we're having here, I do have to say that like Friends nails the ending. Like there's really, even though they all become caricatures of themselves, and I fully agree with the argument of like Friends not aging well. Trust me, this is like not part of the conversation.
Yeah, we tried to rewatch it.
We did. It's rough. There's some rough spots there, but like they stick.
Ross.
Yeah, it's all Ross. Fuck Ross forever, and I will take that to my grave. I fucking hate Ross, but they really there's no weak season, and it ends well. It ends properly.
They tie it up
exactly how they're supposed to do it, and like people grow up in their way. And then there's also the weirdness of like Rachel goes way too far in the other direction, where like all of a sudden she goes from being a fucking idiot who doesn't know how to do anything to being like an executive at Calvin Klein. And it's like, okay.
She went from waiting tables at a coffee shop to being an executive for Calvin Klein, and there's no arc there at all.
No.
We're like,
Yeah.
She's like, this is my dream job. Cool, that's a lot of people's dream jobs. You literally did no work to get there.
But she has fashion sense, so it's fine. That's how she got there.
Didn't she like make out with a blowfish, and that was enough for her to be like, I made out with a blowfish, and they're like, cool, get the fucking Calvin Klein job.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, I will say like, because Friends like teeters, I think season 5 is the best season. Season 7 is pretty good. Season 9, garbage season. That's the one with like Barbados, Aisha Tyler.
Oh no, I love that season. That's like my favorite.
Well, that's the Joey Rachel season.
Yes,
that's why you like it so much. But it has some really terrible episodes in that season. But season 10, like I think they really wrap it up really well.
They do.
And that, I mean, that it wasn't disappointing for me. And it's so funny because I was hard Seinfeld growing up, so
Me too.
I never watched Friends. But when the Friends finale was on the air, I was like, I should probably watch this. So I had never seen an episode of Friends, but I felt like it was important to watch the Friends finale.
That was your first?
In 2004.
That's amazing.
So I watched it.
That's incredible.
And then I rewatched the whole series after that.
See, you mentioned Seinfeld, and holy shit, like that was a series that I watched from its first season all the way through religiously. I was obsessed with that series. I loved it so fucking much. And definitely I see other Amy is shaking their head, and I understand that Seinfeld is definitely one of those you love it or you hate it shows, and I get it. I 100%
It's a show about nothing.
It's a
show about 4 bad human beings, and you're supposed to like all of them. They're all terrible.
They're
all
fair.
Rosses.
That's fair.
It's a cast of Ross.
Oh no!
Fuck that.
But I will say
love that.
the series finale, season 8, is not the best season, but it's not terrible. They've definitely run out of shit to say at that point, so it was definitely of saying nothing in the first place, and then they still ran out of shit. But the last episode being a fucking clip show, basically a fucking clip show as your last thing, was such a heart-wrenching choice that they made. And I understood they were trying to clearly put that, like, they've been shitty this whole time, and we know. Like, even the people that love the show know that they're all garbage.
Yeah.
You didn't have to put a little bow on it at the end with a clip show. That's fucking terrible.
So I find this very interesting because, like, obviously you have made it clear you don't like Seinfeld. Am I right in this?
Correct.
So do you like It's Always Sunny?
That's what I was gonna ask.
I know. I
see
do.
because that's like, is it because Seinfeld? They can actually be real people in the world where you're like Always Sunny, like there's no way. But it's honestly possible those people are real people.
I mean, I have met people close to It's Always Sunny people.
I think the Always Sunny finale should be a copycat of the Seinfeld finale.
Wait.
And it would be brilliant.
That's amazing.
So
I think
Charlie,
that is kind of inspired.
Charlie, Glenn,
honestly.
Rob, if you're listening.
It's interesting because I actually wanted to bring up this subject during this talk, because this is where I feel like the age at which you saw a finale or a TV show can impact your shaping of
Definitely.
it. So, being in high school and college and watching Seinfeld and being like, I hate all of these people. Like, I would never be friends with these people. Like, not the absurdity of it, when you're much older and then watching Sunny and you're like, well, the absurdity of this is hilarious because you don't, you might know a couple people like that and you're still friends with them. You're like, okay, like your worldview has expanded a little bit and you're like, oh, there are people like this in the world because like in Seinfeld, it's so ridiculous and your worldview is so much smaller and you're like, well, in the 90s and like, you're like, it can't, no, these people couldn't possibly exist. And so that didn't connect with me. And now, being older and the Sunny cast being younger than me and being like, oh yeah, no, this shit could really like, okay, I get it.
I think they're all older than you.
Yeah.
I think
pretty sure.
Right around
like
the same age. Yeah.
So what does it say about me that I watched Seinfeld when I was like 3 on? Like,
and you're like really connected with it?
The finale was like, I was like 12? No, 11. I was 11.
Ouch.
I want to see like 11-year-old Tori being like, this is a bullshit finale. Like, mad.
My dad was extremely mad. We watched it together and he was like very emotional about it. And like, I remember he just was like, yeah, what would happen? What I think would have happened is that Jerry and Elaine should have gotten married and then George should have broken up the wedding and said he was in love with Jerry. That was my dad's.
I would love to see it.
What's a twist?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Well, here's the thing. Here's where I think the difference lies is that there are a lot of outside characters in both shows. And in Seinfeld, these outside characters like are dating them, are friends with them. They're part of the scenario. Whereas every like outsider in It's Always Sunny at the end of the episode at least is like, these people fucking suck. Like they're meant to be the worst. They're not meant to be likable. It's honestly like impressive as a feat, the fact that like we want to watch it, even though they all are the worst pieces of shit in the world. They honestly make me feel so much better about myself. It's like therapy. It's like free therapy.
Right.
Free with your like $7.99 Hulu account. But here's the thing about It's Always Sunny is that it's going on too long. It's really, I feel like it's lost its luster.
It is now the longest.
I disagree.
Oh, I totally.
Yeah.
I think that it's really gotten lost. I don't know. I feel like it got lost, and then it has its moments where it finds itself like Max like dancing and coming out. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was beautiful after kind of like a season of shit, and I feel like they've all kind of been that for a while. Apparently I will die on this hill alone here, but I stand by it. Anyways, carry on.
It's now the longest running live action show in the history of television.
How long was Big Bang on?
Actually
too long. I think that's the official number on that.
Yeah.
I think Sunny's longer because it got renewed to season 18.
That's right. That's right.
It actually beat out The Honeymooners is what it beat.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it beat out an old black and white TV show.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you need to watch this last season where they go to Ireland because it is
true. I haven't watched that yet.
It is,
in all fairness,
honestly, probably the best season of Sunny I've ever seen.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
In a long time.
It is a solid season, though.
That finale, though.
Okay, but will you agree that like it's kind of gone off a little bit? I don't feel like the characters. I feel like they're all kind of shadows of who they were.
No, I really don't feel like this season does that, though.
No,
I really don't.
I've been listening to the It's Always Sunny podcast.
Me too. Me as well.
I don't know. I feel like they're going. I just think they're really smart writers, and I think they know what they're doing. I think like that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
Is like making it even more absurd, and they've already done so many things. So
that's very true.
I'm just waiting for them to finish so we can do an It's Always Sunny episode. Like, because there's so many seasons at this point that like podcasts weren't a thing when they started. That wasn't like they are older than podcasts are. This series, so of course we didn't do a like first season thing of It's Always Sunny, and by the time podcasts started, we started in 2015 for this show. We've been around for 7 years, and still that was like too far into It's Always Sunny to do an It's Always Sunny episode where we're like, suddenly we're doing season 8 of It's Always Sunny. Like, weird.
You could do like the first 10 years, and then do
it's a multi-parter.
At this point, it's got to be like where everything's concluded and we can talk about it as a whole. And they just keep going. And I'm like, bro, there are people that are like almost adults that were born the year that you came out.
True.
If we want to like go back and talk about shows that have been on for like way too long, or how about like Supernatural? And that
isn't it over now though?
It is over.
It's done now.
It's over because we are talking about finale. So it's just like going back to like it was on way too long. There was too many seasons. Like, yeah, as a fan, I thought the last few seasons were really good, but like, okay, like 6 of them were not. Like,
you've got to be careful around Lowdown.
Yeah,
and
good thing he's
Smash
not here.
About like Supernatural, because they do recognize that there are some less than great seasons for sure.
hey, I love it.
You can mention it's like they weren't so great. You have to follow with, but I understand that there were episodes there's seasons after that were way better. Because if you don't say that, they're going to be like, murder! And they're just going to fucking descend on you like gargoyles.
But that is what it said. Like the ending.
Yeah, but you said it like casually and calmly. They would say it with like
Yeah.
rage in their hearts.
Is this where I can confess that I am currently watching it for the first time, and I am in season 8, and
All right.
So you have like 20 more to go. You're good.
It is my not to offend, it is my house chores TV show.
Sure.
So I don't know that it requires anyone's full attention every episode.
I would say once it gets to like season 11, then you can start paying attention again.
Yeah.
And then season 12 is like very, very good. But the fact that you said season 9 you're on?
8, I believe, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, once it gets to season 11, so like 3 more. Like,
well, once they
20, like
and this could be a whole nother show too, but when they killed off Bobby, I almost stopped watching. There's so many shows where when they killed X, I'm like, I'm
my
fucking
God.
done.
really
Like,
anyone's up for it. Yeah.
Well, and
Like,
this
we could do a whole
this
show
comes
of
into
that.
another series that had a disappointing finale. And yeah, Amy,
I want to talk about it.
Go.
Wait,
Like,
does anybody else want to say anything about Supernatural? Because I'm about to go the fuck off.
No.
I've never seen it.
It's great. Lowdown, everything's great.
everything's great, Lowdown. Don't worry.
It's a good show. They're nice boys.
They're great boys. It's great that that their dad he came back or something at some point.
Wait, let's all
Spoiler alert.
let's all
It's all spoilers.
we'll all trash it during nights where Lowdown has to edit it. How about that?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Go off, girl.
I'm ready. Whew. Okay. One of the shows that the entire last season, but definitely the finale, was absolute trash. But you want to talk about your favorite character dying? Give up, because you're not watching any of the show. Is Sons of fucking Anarchy. I loved that show. It was my like good trash. I mean, it sucks, but it's great. And every single character dies. Like, I would say 95 to 98% of the characters die. I think there's
Noted.
2 main at the end.
It's
Noted.
basically Biker Hamlet, right?
Yeah, it's totally Biker Hamlet.
Yeah.
And it ends on this weird religious note where the entire show is not religious. He does like a weird Jesus
Oh, no. Let me set that up for
sacrificing
you.
himself.
They have
Please,
this
please.
like weird, like sullen song playing in the background, and he makes sure that everybody's set up and okay, and then he's good. And like the cops are coming after him and stuff. Turns out that Jax decides that he's just gonna like fully during the sullen song extend his hands out on his motorcycle while driving down the road, and then it goes into the other lane of traffic, and who's there but Michael Chiklis is the truck driver.
Savage.
That then like hits him full speed ahead front on, and then as he gets hit, it pans over to the side of the road where there's a crow that then flies off into the sky.
Oh, well, they don't know. They don't know that the theme song of it is like "The Crow Flies Straight." It's like this awful Americana song. It's awful. It's so
such a bad song.
But some people are like religious about it and think that it's like the greatest song ever written, and it's fucking trash. So sorry about it.
And so are the people that think that's a good song.
Amen.
Yes.
There you go, brother.
You know, I don't like to gatekeep, but if you think that song is good, stop listening to this show.
Go listen to that song again.
Go listen to that song instead of this podcast, please.
So if everyone dies in Sons of Anarchy, is the whole show just a cautionary tale for riding motorcycles?
Apparently, yeah, you shouldn't ride them because they're bad.
No, it's about motorcycle safety, really.
Right.
Yeah. They all die in motorcycle accidents that could have been prevented if you were wearing a helmet.
Nobody wears helmets in this show. Jax wears fucking Adidas half the time.
He does. And also, he cannot do an American accent. He's the main character. And
Where's he
from?
Truly, he's British, I believe. I don't think he's Scottish.
Wait, every British person can do a perfect American accent.
Not him. He's doing like a...
Also, he's wearing Jinko jeans and Adidas sneakers. And he
you know
walks
what?
Holding his belt while he walks gangster lean back like he's 1992.
Hot.
yo boy white kid.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now
Super
that this
hot.
entire time that this is happening, he looks fucking delectable. Like, I'm feral watching this show, and he is not the type that you should be this way about. I don't like it. I feel dirty. I have to like wash my fucking vagina in holy water, but it's worth
something
it.
primal
There's
for
something
you.
in there that's like really bad,
God.
and I need
Can't
to.
help it. It's
I need
okay.
to get therapy about it. But yeah, he looks great. He's doing a terrible American accent. It's basically like a biker soap opera. It's so over the top. It's
Which
so
is funny because
cheesy.
none of them
Love it.
use soap in this show.
Nobody's heard of the concept. Actually, it's great. I highly recommend it.
This show, one of the first episodes, has this character Tig that talks about fucking dead people.
Yeah.
Like, and he says it casually, like, you ever fucked a dead person? And Ron Perlman, who's like the leader of the club at this point, is like, cold packing? Like, he knows the term.
Oh, Jesus.
And he's like, nah, not my thing. But with no judgment in his heart at all. And Tig's like,
don't
it's
kink
kind of
shame.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Because they're cold and they don't move. And
Well,
this character, they try to get you to find like redemption with the character by the end because he falls
But
in love
they
with
do.
like a trans prostitute.
Played by Walton Goggins
kills it.
in an incredible turn.
Yeah.
Walton Goggins can do no wrong for me.
Yeah.
That's an
That's
incredible
great.
actor
But
right
that's
there.
the thing
So
that makes
good.
you feel psychotic
Yeah.
watching the show. Is
Gaslit.
Here's a dude that like murdered one of his best
Everyone.
friend's wives.
In season one, immediately.
Was the reason why his daughter was burned alive.
Oh my God. I forgot about
Yeah,
her getting
like,
burned alive.
has done the most horrifying, abysmal things a human being can do as a person, and has bragged about fucking dead people. And by like season 7, you're just like, oh, you found love. and so if you step one step away from the show, you're like, I need to stop watching this show. What the fuck? Like, that shouldn't be normalized for me.
Talking about this
that
show
should
makes me
not
feel
be
crazy.
okay. And that's, I think, why maybe the last episode is a good thing, because it is so abysmal that you're like, okay, I can just put this away and like close this lockbox on this show and just never worry about it again.
And you think Seinfeld are bad.
Right? I mean, honestly.
And you want to be my latex.
I mean, honestly. And the funny thing is, like, it's that last season that you know that you have like overstayed your fucking welcome at this party.
But you can't
like,
leave.
It's so
you're,
bad.
You're tucked in at that point. You can't leave. You gotta
The
know.
main character murders his mom in a cornfield, and she's like, "Do it, babe. Yeah, do it." Like, it's so fucking bad. It's Peggy Bundy. I forgot what her
Oh
real
yeah,
name
that's
is.
right. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
and
Murder
she,
me
Yeah,
so
Katie.
hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Katie.
Katie
Seagal.
Seagal, and she's
Seagal.
married to the showrunner, writer
Oh, shit,
of
she
it,
is.
who plays like a blind prisoner. It's so bad. Oh my God, it's so bad, but it's also incredible, and I highly recommend
The
it.
reason we started, because we were talking about like characters that die, you're like, I'm done. And in season 3, Opie is the character that he like sacrifices himself for the like the well-being of the club.
He's like
And it's
wonderful.
He's incredible and amazing and everybody's favorite character, like hands down 100% everyone's favorite character. And he sacrifices himself, and it's like gruesome as fuck. And I knew so many people that stepped away from the show for a minute to like collect themselves before diving back in. Like, I need a breather before that.
This is a show that I do not watch, but I just want to give a very brief shout out to everyone who still watches Grey's Anatomy. You're a real one. That's on like season 48. Every single character has
I
died.
don't
They have
understand
all
it.
new characters, and some people are still like riding hard.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say I needed a break in The Magicians when they killed Penny.
Yeah.
I had to take a break.
Yeah,
I was
fair.
like,
No, you need to like. Can't.
It's just like one of my favorite shows, Desperate Housewives, started the exact same time as Grey's Anatomy, and that
Oh yeah.
dumb shit is still going on over and over and over again. There's like bombs and people like, and I love Desperate Housewives so much. This is not part of the show.
Look, The Dark Knight is a great movie, and there's bombs and people in that too. So
Okay, like I'm just saying, like I just don't know.
They should
the
do it-
medical shows just go on and on and
Oh
on.
my God.
And I just like, some of them are just like so much guilty pleasure, but I'm just like, God, I cannot believe people.
you were talking about
love
live
this
action,
still.
like the longest running, but there's like so many like CSI shows.
I think half-hour comedy.
It's sitcom.
Oh, okay.
The sitcom.
Oh, sitcom.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was like, because I
Multicam.
know Special Victims Unit has been on for 86 years.
Yeah,
At
and you
least.
can't even
So-
talk about soap operas.
Like,
No,
yeah,
God,
yeah,
no.
live
Okay.
action
All right.
sitcom.
That makes
Yes,
way more
live
sense.
action sitcom. Yeah.
All right, and at this point, we're good for our mid-episode break. So, oh my God,
we all
this
need
has
to
been so much
collect
fun.
ourselves.
Yeah, we need to. It's like Opie just died. We need to take a pause. We need to collect ourselves. take a listen to some of the other shows available on the GUI network. And we'll be back in just a minute with some spirited conversation about what we're drinking and more conversations about series finales. So stick around.
Woo!
We'll be right back.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm FU Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're gonna fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
Embrace the madness.
My name is Amy Bogarde.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
And we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as, what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.
In a world of blockbuster movies, there's another dimension.
The dimension of schlock cinema. Join us at Beautiful Disasters on a journey into the fringe territory of B-movie abandon.
We review the flicks that are forgotten or underappreciated to give them a proper place in the annals of celluloid history.
I'm the Groots,
FU Hunter.
your guides at Beautiful Disasters. Come along with us for a fun ride. May the schlock be with you.
In a world with too many reboots and remakes,
two men will stop at nothing to make it even worse.
join Mike the Hobbit and Tondi as they play by their own rules while pitching new takes on some of your favorite and least favorite films and TV shows. What podcast would dare to bring this upon the world?
This is Smack My Pitch Up.
Hey guys, Scotty P here with Smash on your left. And we are the Geek Fathers. That's right, bringing all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent.
So welcome to our world.
And as always, join us or cry.
We're back for the second half of Geeks Under the Influence, all things disappointing series finales. But before we get into that, let's talk about our sponsors a little bit. First up, of course, is Amazon.com. You know it. You are just as disappointed by them as we are as well, but it's a necessary evil sometimes. So if you are going to be shopping Amazon.com, take some of the money away from them and do it through our link at GUIPodcast.com. That way, at least a little bit of the money that you're spending at Amazon goes to us instead of Amazon. So you are letting us use your necessary evil purchases to get more equipment, pay into the cost of booze on this show, which is almost as much as the cost of the equipment that we use.
That is the equipment, honestly.
The equipment is the booze on this table right now. And it just helps us make this a less non-profitable endeavor here at GUI. So definitely go to GUIPodcast.com, click on the link to Amazon on our links, and it will send you to Amazon, and then shop as normal. And then everything you purchase, we get credit for. So we get a percentage of what you spend goes to us instead. So that is a good way to help us out. Another way, and the better way to help us out, is through TeePublic.
Yeah.
TeePublic. I counted the other day. We've got well over 40 designs of just the normal designs. We've got more than that when you throw in the seasonal designs that come in too. We've got some brand new designs from Beautiful Disasters that are a play on Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh, nice.
Amazing designs. Thanks to Red Patch Lorna, one of our panelists, did that. We've got a new Smack My Pitch Up design. We just recently on Smack My Pitch Up, I got a co-host. Tondi is now my co-host on that show. So we've got a sweet Lethal Weapon inspired like dynamic duo.
It's amazing.
Cover. I've got a mullet in it.
Yep.
It's a whole thing happening, but I'm very proud of it. And it's a great shirt. It's very worth your time to look into that, as well as over 40 other designs besides that. Zaddy issues. There's a manatee with a Rambo headband.
There's Tucci Gang, obviously.
Tucci Gang, which Tucci Gang, holy shit. That design has blown the fuck up and sells so well. I'm getting coffee mug and t-shirt sales all the time from that design. So
who
thank
among
you.
us is not Tucci Gang?
And so check out our Tucci Gang design as well as all the other stuff. Go to GUIPodcast.com/store. It'll send you right to our TeePublic page. or just click on the TeePublic link on our homepage. That'll send you right there. And then just shop as normal. Plenty of sales. So if it's not on sale now, wait like 2 days and it'll probably be on sale. So, and that's our sponsors. That's what we got.
Yay.
Yay. Woo. Now on to the thing that really motivates us for this show here. The thing that really started in the first place is a bunch of friends hanging out and drinking and hanging out and talking about pop culture. We're talking about what we're drinking.
Hey, we're fucking drinking. We're getting drunk. You want to know? Well, here you go. Hey,
we're drinking. We're getting drunk.
Woo! Hey.
So good.
I will never get tired of that intro. Ever.
It's
great.
Good.
It's so fucking good, yeah. So, what we're drinking, we've got a choice that Ms. Bogarde is going to introduce to us here.
Sure did. It was planned to be some sort of a share because we didn't want to drink it. And this just fit perfectly.
It really did.
It really was perfect. So here's the deal. So I was very, very excited because I'm a basic bitch who loves a hard seltzer to try the Topo Chico hard seltzers because I love Topo Chico. And we got through half the pack together. We tried the pineapple, we tried the strawberry, and we were like, fuck yes, this is incredible. Then we got to the next half, the latter half, which was mango and lemon lime. And let me just tell you, they suck shit. And so that felt like the perfect, there's some disagreement happening.
And what is, you're a fan of the
lemon lime.
The lemon lime.
Delicious.
Yeah.
The lemon lime has a film about it that I don't appreciate.
I think your palate is maybe not refined enough
Oh,
to appreciate the lemon lime.
You know what? That's fair.
I mean, I am a chef, so.
No, that is fair. Excuse me. I will just head the fuck out.
As a former professional bartender, I'm excited to try.
You have a little mango in front of you. We gave Ms. Roberts the lemon lime that she so desires because I didn't want it. But yeah, I feel like mango seltzer is a tough sell across the board.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that's really done a good job at mango. There are better and worse versions, but nobody's really nailed the mango where you're like, okay. If anything, it's like, oh, okay.
Correct. The one that I will say, because Budweiser, okay. You know, they do their seasonal packs every year, like their flannel sweater one, and they're okay. So last summer, they had a mango Mai Tai in their mix, and it's delicious. Strawberry daiquiri, mango Mai Tai, a mint mojito, and I can't remember the fourth one, but they were all delicious. Okay. And that was a mango Mai Tai. It did not suck.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I want to trust you, but I've also heard your lemon lime ideas, so I don't know. It's going to be tough.
I feel like we need to uncomfortably stare at Tori as she tries the
I'm sure it's your first time.
By the way, I'm also drinking, I brought unknowingly a regular non-alcoholic Topo Chico.
Delicious, refreshing.
Extremely. Pellegrino, suck ass, like
right.
Topo Chico. All right.
I agree.
Oh, 100%. No, I love Pellegrino.
No, I love Pellegrino,
only in
but
a glass
Topo Chico.
bottle.
I like the flavored ones more, though, obviously.
Don't drink Pelly in a plastic bottle.
Not Pelly.
How gauche.
You're on nickname basis with San Pellegrino?
You cannot drink a Pelly in a plastic bottle. You're just trash.
Oh, wish it was me. So classy.
Right.
You should look. She's actually petting a toy poodle as she's saying that. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, we have to take a sip too.
It doesn't taste like anything. It tastes.
Oh,
can I smell it?
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've had one.
It's like drinking flat soda water that like smells like mango.
Yeah.
There's nothing about that tastes like mango.
And now there's like a fake mango. Like a fake mango taste. Like this mango puree that you get at like a shitty bar that they put in this is not.
I'm going to say,
I don't think it tastes like anything. Oh wait,
this tastes like mango body glitter from Claire's in 2002.
Yeah. The aftertaste of it now
You know what it tastes
brutal.
like? It tastes like you've got the little bin in your freezer that you put the ice cubes in. And if you leave it out and all the ice cubes melt, the ice cubes that have been in the freezer for like 2 months and have gotten all the different odors from the freezer into it, and also that freezer taste into it, and it melts down into, and you pour it into a shot glass and take a sip. That's what the Topo Chico mango tastes like.
I would like to try the lemon lime though, because I'm curious now.
I would love for you to try the lemon lime. There's like a film about it that reminds me of like a green Fruit Loop.
Okay.
She's crazy.
Just cash.
That's
just
fair. I mean, that's true.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, she's sniffing it like a
See,
wine.
now it just smells
Swirl
like mango, so I think the mango has compromised the solo cup.
No. I think you'll know. It's pretty specific.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes.
Delicious. You're all heathens. You're all heathens.
Well, wait.
See, actually,
wait, what?
Hang on.
Wait, no.
The aftertaste I like better than the mango aftertaste.
Thank you. It's crisp. It's crisp.
See,
it's filmy.
It's refreshing.
Do you have a film on your tongue?
Fucking Judas over here.
Wait,
Judas.
Hang on. I think I'll take another. Hang on.
Second sip.
See, because Amy Roberts, you were actually brought here under false pretenses that your husband asked us to come here to tell you that you have terrible taste in Topo Chicos.
This is an intervention.
And this is an intervention.
Strawberry guava for life.
We all care about you, and we love you, and we need you to stop standing the lime flavored Topo Chico.
If anyone wants to know what my face is, I'm the kombucha girl meme where she's just like, no, no, like no. Actually, at the second taste, that's a hard no for both of them. I agree. I think something happened with the first aftertaste that I don't know.
I think we're not gatekeepers on GUI, except when it comes to the lime flavored Topo Chicos, and in which case, Amy,
I'll
you're
see
wrong.
myself out.
And you're wrong, and you should feel bad about yourself.
Okay. I'll take a Negroni, please. Thank you.
She bougie.
Yeah, I am.
I think the expectations may have been a little skewed before you came over.
Right,
we are drinking Target brand seltzers mixed with bottom shelf vodka here at the GUI Studios headquarters.
Chin chin.
Chin chin, motherfucker. Cheers.
Right,
yes,
so,
Good and Gather, please sponsor us.
Yes,
because
Good and Gather,
we mix your shit with
Good and
vodka.
Gather Target brand seltzer water. Please sponsor us.
Nice.
Those make points, though, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So when you last left us, we were talking about our disappointing series finales. And there were a couple that we've been saving till the last little breath here. Let's just start off with a complicated conversation that's going to start here. Is the Dexter series finale.
Fuck
You knew it was
me.
coming. Anybody that saw the title of this knew that there was going to be a conversation about Dexter. And we have one Dexter stan on the episode that I want to hear before we get into it. I want to hear Tori's take on the original series finale.
Yeah, defend this
of
lumberjack ass bullshit. Go ahead now.
The series finale that rocked us and Dexter like a hurricane.
Oh no. And
the
Deb
hurricane
especially
actually did not rock him.
Deb got rocked like a hurricane.
So, yes,
very hard.
It is true. I am a Dexter stan. I love Dexter. I love the books. I read the books. I even read the little comic. Like, I'm obsessed with Dexter. So the end of season 4 was the most perfect
insane.
Trinity?
One of the most best seasons of anything.
Of any television show ever.
This guy won Golden Globes for that, right?
Like, yeah.
As he should.
Yeah, they won.
Or Emmys or whatever. And,
no, he never won the Emmy, but that was because of Breaking Bad. It was on the same.
That's right.
That's tough.
I think
Bryan Cranston just swooped his shit.
Breaking Bad but he did win Golden Globe. Yeah, that was the 1 year. But so that was the original showrunner. That was his last season.
Really?
And, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you can tell even a difference from the season 4 finale to the season 5 premiere. You can just tell like a difference in the way it's shot, like the way it just changes. And I mean, I appreciate how it takes place ever. I liked season 5. A lot of people hated it, like right after.
Which one was that?
That's the Colin Hanks.
Julia Stiles.
Oh, that's Julia Stiles. Yeah.
Julia Stiles. I did not care for the Colin Hanks season because that's a religion thing.
It's like a doomsday cult thing with Edward James Olmos, who I'm a fan of, and Colin Hanks, who's a sweetheart that I want to just be friends with all the time. Like we can, and not even like go get a drink with. Like sure, but I'd honestly like to like play mini golf or like maybe like just go on a drive.
That's
just
nice.
Like take a little drive and just talk about life with Colin Hanks.
I think my biggest reason why I hated that season so much is because basically it's like they started doing these like themes like, oh, Dexter's trying to like figure things out in life and find himself, and then it's just like, oh, he's figuring out his relationship with God. He's a fucking serial killer. He has no relationship with God. He doesn't believe in God. He doesn't believe in this shit. So we don't need to explore the religious aspect of Dexter. It didn't need to happen.
No.
Anyway, going forward, so it was dicey for me. Like season 7, also like Deb falls in love with him.
That's the worst plot point. You've never seen this, Amy?
No.
That's his sister.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So there you go.
His sister, literally sister wife, because they got married in real life.
Oh yeah, they were married in real life.
Oh yeah, they were married and then they were divorced at this point. So they.
But then they got back together.
Could you imagine being? I feel like
for a
they
while.
had to hate. The writers had to hate one of them because they're like, okay, like. They're sister and brother, and they're super sister and brother for most of the series, and then they get together and they're married, and they're still sister and brother. And the minute they fucking like break up and divorce, they're like, we're gonna make them get together in the series.
Ugh.
Like that's the most fucking two things ever.
But they're making it sound like they actually hook up. They don't. She has like a dream in one episode, and then she admits that she's in love with him, and he's like, oh.
And then she goes from like fully stable to like off the rails alcoholic in the course of like 2 episodes
because he doesn't love her back.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's she also
actually
killed somebody for Dexter. So that's would make anybody who's not a serial killer
to
become an alcoholic.
To the show's
probably.
credit, they were way ahead of the whole like step sibling like
Pornhub search
thing.
They were not blood related either, so that's why her falling in love with him was like,
so it was actually hot,
still stupid, but it was like
it's totally fine,
not incestuous
via Pornhub. It's totally okay. It's totally fine.
Pornhub says it's okay.
It's actually normal and common.
We don't kink shame.
Never.
So then once we get through that pile of garbage, we go into season 8, and then they're like going through therapy together, and it's all this like fucked up stupid fucking shit. By the way, Dexter's like falling in love with another female serial killer, Yvonne
Strahovski,
yeah.
who is great.
Oh,
she's
so good.
So
it turns into Killing Eve.
Oh, I wish.
So then
I love Killing Eve.
Right.
When the finale aired, my 2 issues with it, my first issue was the fact that it
lasted that many seasons, or
okay. Look here. We're okay. So
also this is a
I'm
actually
getting real heated right
come
now.
to Jesus from your husband about your obsession with Dexter, and we're here because we
he
love
knows.
you.
This
And
is an intervention.
He's aware.
You knew what episode you came on, my guy. Like we were gonna do this thing for real.
How did you not know?
All right. Anyway, so
even the showrunner said it was a bad ending.
yeah, because he wasn't a part of the show anymore, or the
That's
new
true.
showrunner.
Oh, maybe it was the old. Yeah,
the
maybe
old
it was the old showrunner that said
didn't want to end it that way.
So he was being catty.
He was being a
I was
little
like, yeah,
catty.
if I was around,
a shady bitch.
There would have been 2 hurricanes.
You would have wrapped him like a hurricane. So anyway, like Deb dies, which I'm like fine with. Who cares? And then
it was so anticlimactic, though. She like died while she was in a coma, right? She just like slipped into the beyond.
Yeah. And then so
I thought playing One Step Beyond by Madness as she passed away was a little bit much, but
So-
you know.
So here's the thing. It drove me nuts because she did, and then he kills the guy on camera in the police station, and then Angel and Gwen know. They know, and they're still like, it's self-defense.
Jesus.
Cops gonna be cops. Like they didn't care.
They said
didn't
A cab.
care. They said they didn't care. They didn't care. And then
Dexter was very progressive.
I was gonna say.
And I was honestly fine with that too. But then when he takes Deb,
we got to break that down later. That you're like,
look,
sign off, cool. Like, blue protecting blue. I get it. It's all fine.
It made sense. So when he takes Deb and just tosses her in the ocean.
Wait.
With all the other people.
Wait,
that
we got to
he
break
murdered.
that down for a quick second because I feel like it was a very important moment that he hurls Deb's body but struggles a little bit and makes like a noise that was like very funny and unintentionally for a very serious moment. And then like the bad CGI hurricane is like swirling away in the background. I can't. We have to talk about it.
You know, I think I was so like mad about the fact he was throwing her in the ocean. All the sounds were just being ignored from my brain.
Like I just her into the ocean.
He horked her and you know what? In the back of my head,
loves an ocean hork.
in the back of my head,
can we get that on t-shirt?
I was like, what about Quinn? Quinn is gonna be he's gonna be like, where's Deb? What is he gonna be like? Looking for her, looking at camera footage, like, oh no, all the cameras are down because it's a hurricane and all kinds of bullshit. He's going to think what? Like, Deb just, like, ran away, like, woke up and was like, I can't do this anymore. But, like
honestly,
how does
as
he
much
ever...
of a fuckboy as that dude is, he's used to women just disappearing from his life and never seeing them again.
They were engaged, though.
Yeah, also, the number of times that he probably got, like, 48-hour engaged with people, like, he's probably...
with Deb at least twice, I think.
Right.
But, like, I still was just like...
He's the Kevin Federline of serial killer shows. Like,
but then...
He's Deb's second choice after her brother. Like, it's not meant to be, man.
But then, here's what I would have wanted, too. Okay, first of all, that didn't need to happen.
No.
He should have just left her in the hospital. Doesn't matter. And then... the lumberjack thing, it's the silence and staring into the camera for me. It's the no words.
Oh, the weird, like,
no music,
unfucked up now. Yeah.
The no music, the no words.
The giving your child to a serial killer to take to a different country.
Well, no, but she was nice, though.
She was a nice serial killer.
She wasn't going to kill Harrison.
No, because she just had a dark passenger like Dexter did.
Yeah, but like...
We all really accepted dark passenger a little too easily, I think.
Because we all had that
insane.
friend that just really pushed smoking a bowl in your passenger seat. And you're like, okay, just roll down the window. Jesus Christ. Like, I'm tired of having this conversation.
There's a cop right
We've
there.
all had that dark passenger before.
I think that after the original showrunner and after season 4 being one of the best seasons of any television show ever, they tried their best. Some episodes in some seasons worked, some seasons didn't, but overall the ending failed. Did I think it was the worst finale I've ever seen in my life? No, but it was pretty bad.
I think I do. I do think I
don't
feel
think
like
it's
it's the
there.
worst.
It was the worst until the next topic of conversation, which involves dragons. And I mean,
great lead in.
Yeah,
it's a good segue. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's second half. It doesn't matter.
Much like the
Nothing
dragon Dexter was battling inside.
Ooh,
we're not going to go into Dexter New Blood.
I just got to throw the segues to you from now on to do.
Well, it's not. Is it over forever?
Well, I mean, we could
for Tori.
Dexter New Blood.
Yeah,
I mean, we could spoil it. Like you guys said that you watched the first episode, hated it, and then read the ending.
Okay,
I read
look,
the
the fact that he decided to go through for a fucking jog every morning, and it was around the same time as a fucking elk,
yeah.
And they're like they just like fucking knew each other, and
Tori's triggered.
I am triggered because I've seen that season at least 4 times.
The new season?
I've watched it 4 times. I've watched every episode 4 times.
Okay, we were joking about the intervention, but
this might actually have to happen. Okay, everybody, come in.
I really,
my lemon lime Topo Chico's not so bad now, is it?
I mean, truly, this is a code blue. Come on, everyone.
I went in there like being like, this is different than the original Dexter, and I thought it was darker. I thought it was really good, and I hated the ending, but I hated it because of what happened, not because it was bad.
He marries the elk that dies in episode 2. It's very weird.
And he names her Deb. It's really gross.
Is that where the movie Antler comes from?
It just is really
actually,
like...
Antlers is the sequel movie.
And I felt like...
The kid is... Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
And I felt like, and this will be the last thing I say, but I watched it episode by episode from week to week. Like it was like 2008 again, and it felt really nice to watch a show that way.
You know, and as much as we're giving you shit, like there is something to be said for like loving a property so much that you're willing to forgive the later sins of the thing. I am definitely one of those for Star Wars in the later Disney sequels and stuff. Is that as much as and anybody that wants to talk shit on the episode 9 of Star Wars, I get it. I'm not gonna like try to defend it to people about it, but I'm not hating on it as much as other people are. It's not good. But it's Star Wars, you know? I mean, everybody's got to have their thing.
Yeah.
There needs to be some wiggle room there to appreciate that sometimes loving the property is more important than picking it apart sometimes. So, yeah.
But I really liked the new version of it.
And that being said, you're still wrong.
I'm
I couldn't.
My wonderful Dexter themed cocktail and Dexter party that I had, like old times.
Nice.
I'm sure that was great.
It was great.
And I do miss the old days of like watch parties with friends.
I had that for the season 4 finale, and it was 15 of us, and it was like a pin drop.
Yeah, we definitely.
I believe it.
The next thing we're talking about, Game of Thrones, definitely did watch parties and shit back in the day.
100%.
And themed foods to go with it, and I mean, it was a whole fucking experience. And that's the beautiful thing about these series that become cultural phenomenons. Like Dexter was definitely one of those titles. Game of Thrones, Heroes. The first season of Heroes was this whole fucking thing.
Lost.
The reason Heroes isn't on this list of disappointing series finales is because literally everything after season 1 was disappointing. So it doesn't really count as But Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was one of those things that everybody going into season 8 was aware that it wasn't going to be good because season 7 wasn't the best. It was not as bad as season 8, but it was it was past the books where Martin was involved in the story building process, but I feel like he was kind of fucking them over a little bit because he was testing the water on themes, being like, I might go another way with the books, but this is what I was thinking. They're like, cool, we'll start this. And he's like, cool, you guys try that out.
Right. He was throwing his creative dick around. Like, if you want to rush me for money, a concept I don't care about, then you do your own thing.
Was there really anything to throw around when we're talking about a show that
George
was
Armand's
made...
dick?
No, well, when we're talking about
I don't know.
A show that was started, the reason he stopped writing the books is because he got horrible writer's block and stopped writing them forever. So he can't be like, my shit doesn't stink. Like, you couldn't finish the series. And they were like, well, we can't wait for you to fix your shit. We're going to just start it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, all right. Like, he wasn't like...
I want to be in that pitch meeting where they know he has writer's block and that's why he hasn't finished the books. But they're like, but we need like literally anything that you got. Yeah. They're like, give us anything. He's like, I don't know, like fucking Jon Snow develops a heroin addiction. They're like, there's no heroin.
Right. They're like, well, we'll make heroin. It'll be like magic heroin.
It's magic heroin. I don't know. And then he's like, I don't know. He fucks his aunt. And they're like, wait, hold on.
No, you might be onto something there.
Can the aunt be Daenerys? And he's like, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
Cool. Like Star Wars. Just like kissing, like family members. Cool. No, they're into that with fantasy stuff. It's great.
Look,
and
there was I was hard team Night King for a while on Game of Thrones. I was like, end it all, bitch. When he was like, come at me, bro. I was like, yep, that's my boy. Like, kill them all, motherfucker. Like, let's do this. Like, I was not here for like finding out who was gonna win. You know what I mean? Like, he's bringing all the people over. And I'm like, yep, that's my guy right there.
That was the letdown that let me knew that the series finale was going to be a letdown is that episode where it was the battle with the Night King, and they had been building this up forever.
Yes.
Forever that it was going to be this epic battle for the fucking like soul of the fucking kingdom.
Yeah.
And it was one episode and it was so dark you couldn't see half the shit.
Right.
And also this like 20-minute battle that ended the fucking Night King's reign because fucking Arya was just like, I got fucked. So like, cool.
Yeah.
Let me stab a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like it was.
I mean, it was a cool scene.
Okay, I'm going to admit something, and I'm not proud of this, but the facts are the facts. Tori, you said you also did not watch Game of Thrones.
I have not, no.
I watched the first few seasons. It got very, very rapey for me, and I just, like, cut and run. I was over it. It wasn't fun enough to make up for, like, the amount of rape in the show, so I left. But then I came into the very strange cultural phenomenon that I wonder if you did too, of not watching Game of Thrones and feeling like the most ostracized person. Like that was the weirdest phenomenon of like, what do you mean you don't watch it? Do you not like culture? Like, do you not care about stuff? Like the weirdest, like gross fan culture I've ever experienced in my life.
But yeah, the amount of people when they're just like, you need to, like, they just instill like, you should watch it, you need to watch it, and then that makes me want to watch it even less.
Well, that's why once we got, this is my unproud thing that like, I mean, but who's gonna judge me really, is once it got to the end and it just started going all the way off the rails and all the fans were like, no, like this isn't what we wanted. I was just kind of like,
with your popcorn off in the corner.
Interesting. Is it bad? Because I haven't been watching. Are you devastated? Because I'm not. I quit.
That's going to be the exact same thing that happens with Bitcoin. Yeah, everybody's talking about, oh, you're not on Bitcoin?
Oh, I love
my
it.
God. You missed the boat because Bitcoin and Dogecoin.
Oh, do you use real money?
It's so fucking big. Oh, my God. And they're like, they make you feel like you're a fucking pleb for not being into Bitcoin.
Oh, can't wait.
And then in 6 months, there's going to be like, oh no, all your Bitcoin's gone? That's
that
so
was the
weird.
Game of Thrones finale,
yeah,
and it
that's the
falling
Game of-
off the rails. No one talks about Game of Thrones now.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I do understand how you're feeling because I never read Harry Potter.
Me neither.
But,
Well, I read the first couple.
You know, so I understand where your emotions are coming from.
Thank
I
you.
apologize for being one of those
Honestly,
assholes.
but wait, I was like that with Harry Potter too because I couldn't get into it. I watched all the movies. I couldn't get into it. And now here we are with J.K. Rowling and I'm like, well,
she just posted one like today.
But every day.
She was like, here's one example of one person regretting transitioning. So that clearly means that all trans people are bad, right?
Oh, every day of our lives.
So there's a decent amount of things that I haven't seen and I like don't admit that stuff. But like basically when I tell people like, oh, I haven't seen this or I haven't seen this, or someone's like, you need to watch this, you need to watch this. And I'm like, basically this has always worked for me where I'm just like, there's so much shows. There's so many shows. There's so much entertainment.
Content.
There's so many things. There's so many things that I want to see that I haven't seen. So I'm not going to put something above the things that I already want to see.
Right.
So that's going to go at the bottom of my list. So if I see all of the things that I want to see and then the mediocre things, then maybe I'll get to Game of Thrones when I'm like 85.
Give me money so I don't have to work and then I can
And
watch
usually
it.
when you say that, people are like, well, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So I have to do so. Shout out to my Sunday night Church of Game of Thrones. That was my watch group.
Sure.
Every Sunday,
Nice.
like 8 to 12 people. So what we did at the beginning of the final season was we had a printout and it was all the characters and you listed whether they were going to live, die, or White Walker.
That's amazing.
And then and then you had
so fun.
and then you had 3 lines of where you put plot point guesses that you thought might happen.
That rules.
And we sealed them all up in envelopes and initialed our envelopes and we put them all in a stack. And that was before the first episode premiered. And then we watched the whole thing. And then at the after the finale, when we're all sitting there like, first of all, don't say you're going to give us a short season and then full length movies and then tack on 15 minutes to the episode. Fuck you. An hour 15 is not giving me a movie length episode every time.
Yeah.
Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And so then we're all sitting there silently like, well, we've just, like it's it's like in Princess Bride. I've just sucked 1 year of your life away.
Yeah.
So it's just like, so then we all open our envelopes and we're reading stuff and we're listening to each other's ideas and we're like, that was a better plot point. That was a better plot. That was like, holy shit, I would have died if that would fucking happen. Like all plausible, all would have fit nicely into the timelines and stuff. And we were all just like, even angrier. At the finale, we were all just like, set it on fire, burn it all.
Listen, at this point, like, you need to have like viewing parties for literally, like, if there's a According to Jim reboot that happened.
Wow.
I'm in if you're doing the viewing party because that sounds like so much fun and I'm so on board. There was like a Jim finds
I'll make it happen.
Finds a bug in his food, and then it's a whole episode where he's like, "Oh no! Was it a bug from my house, or was it did the food come with the bug?" And that's the whole episode, and you're like, yeah, "Bugs!" You wrote that in the card. I'm in. I'm fucking in. I don't give a shit.
Put money on that shit.
That sounds great.
If you want to cry a lot, I am having a This Is Us series finale party with some people.
I
think
couldn't do
another home
And-
appliance is going to take somebody down.
Which one though? Air fryer?
It's going to be an air fryer.
Too current. Too current.
It's current. That's the thing. It's like
Too
the crock
much.
pot. That's old timey. So
Too much.
You got to do
That
crock
episode
pot.
was too much. Too much.
That whole show apparently is too much.
Yeah,
No,
I couldn't
it's so
do
good,
it.
though.
It's
It's so
so
good.
melodramatic.
It's good.
I'm gonna just get on a tiny soapbox.
Do it.
For a minute.
Do it.
About one of the main things. It turned into a main thing on that show, but also a finale of a show that pissed me off. Probably none of you have watched it, but Insecure.
Oh yeah, I watched it. You didn't like the
Okay.
series finale? I loved it.
No, here's the fucking problem.
All right. I'm so ready.
Yeah.
As a person,
She's been waiting for somebody to talk about Insecure.
Truly,
with.
no one else I know watches Insecure, and I loved
Oh my
every
God.
second of it.
Well, I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
Molly was the best part of that finale, but anyways, she got. I was happy that she was happy. Anyway,
Me too.
The problem with and it's the same problem with Kate on This Is Us. As someone who is child-free by choice and has known that choice for several years, and then you take a fucking character who's bomb-ass like Kelly, and she's like, "Oh, I found the love of my life, and now I'm knocked up, and babies are amazing."
Yeah.
No, go fuck yourself. That is not how it works.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
that's
Not
true.
how it works.
That's
And
true.
Kate was like, "Oh, I'm kids, no kids, no kids. Oh, I found a man I love. Oh, I'm knocked up. This is great." No, that is not. That is not how it works, and I hated that in the finale, and I hate that she ended up with Lawrence because Nathan was better.
No.
No, Nathan was better. Nathan was
Lawrence.
better.
Oh my God, I'm livid.
No, Lawrence was terrible for her. He's trash. Sorry.
Does it make you feel any better that in This Is Us, Kate divorces Toby
Right?
and she
I'm here
marries
for it. Yeah.
the
Right.
shitty Jimmy from You're the
Right,
Worst,
right.
Chris Gear.
Oh, I love You're the Worst.
Such a good show. God, it didn't get enough seasons.
That's on one of the
Didn't
best
get enough seasons.
finales.
Oh, You're the Worst is
Yeah,
top tier.
yeah.
Top
It
tier.
didn't. It was so
You're the
well
Worst
written.
is You're the Best.
So
Yes.
fucking well written.
Speaking of the actual worst,
So good.
I think wrapping this episode up with this conversation is the best way to go. Is that a series that went on long enough that it didn't age well while it was still on the air is How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I forgot
Blah,
about how
blah,
bad that was.
That started at a point where you have Neil Patrick Harris playing basically like key fuckboy in that series, where he was like laughably living in that gray area of like consent and like the entire time.
Ugh.
And as the series went on, it was like something that was like just laughed off and it was fine at the beginning, and then by the end of the series, when that was a much more of a conversation in the popular culture, the funniness of it all had kind of like dissipated a bit, so they made him want a relationship and want to be more serious. And then the way that they ended that series,
Oh my God,
was horrifying. Where actually when he meets his future wife,
the mother,
it is charming. And like I love that actress anyway. So
Me too.
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, cool, that's great. But it's all being like, anyway, so yeah, mom died, I'm still in love with Robin. As the fucking switch at the end is fucking insane.
and his kids being like, "Oh, like what?"
Robin, yeah, you should go fuck on Robin. Yeah, go fuck her. Go bring a blue trumpet.
Yeah, that
like,
line
to
was
her,
actually
like-
really inappropriate for his kids to say, "Go fuck on her." I didn't like that.
Is it the on?
The rest of it I loved. No, fuck on her is how I usually say it.
Yeah.
Fuck on
But the
her,
kids saying it, they're like underaged.
I just had like some weird like epiphany while you were talking about Barney, is when I was just like, oh my God, is Barney like the PG multiverse version of Dennis Reynolds?
Oh, God.
Wow. But successful. Dennis Reynolds is usually not.
No, that's what I'm saying. Multiverse. He's successful.
Yeah.
He's like not a psychopath, quote unquote, but it's like
But he definitely is.
It's the Barney system. Is the B stands for barely getting consent.
Right.
It's very weird. But yeah, the finale was absolute garbage.
Yeah.
And the show is not rewatchable.
Well, the last season, honestly, that was another one where the last season was like, I cannot believe I'm still watching this fucking shit. Where an entire season of show was a weekend? Are you joking?
I can't remember.
Oh, wow.
It's the whole weekend of the Barney and Robin wedding, and then the next episode is like 10 years in the future and they've broken up. So it's like, why did I give a single fuck? That's what I get for watching that show as it was aging poorly and being like, still gotta watch it, as Barney is like literally just like fucking everybody with lies and deceit.
Committed.
I can't believe I loved that show so much when it was on, and then I was like, wow.
I think the reason I love that show, because nobody cared about Ted at all. Like, Ted was the worst character, hands down, the entire time.
So boring.
It was Jason Segel and Willow.
Okay, they were cute.
Allison Hannigan.
Allison Hannigan. They were adorable. They were super sweet. We even watched recently This Is the End.
So
and
good.
There's a scene where Jason Segel is talking to Kevin Hart, and he's like, it's just the same thing all the time, where it's just like, where what happened to the birthday cake? And then I show up with Frosty and he's like, it's my birthday.
Because you ate the cake. Because you ate the cake.
And he's like, see, that's why you're famous. And he's
that's
like,
why you'll never win.
And he looks like disappointed by the fact that that's why he's famous. Because like, I ate the birthday cake. I'm the birthday cake eating guy. And I love that that's clearly talking about his role in How I Met Your Mother as being just the doofy.
But he did so good.
He did such a great job.
So good.
He cashed those checks.
Hell yeah, he did. He made Forgetting Sarah Marshall with them checks. And the Muppet movie. Let's all rejoice in that fact.
Gosh.
But the question is, when is the Dracula musical? Release the Dracula musical. I need it.
Yeah.
Now, a couple, and this is the tail end, so throwing out whatever you guys want for little additional series finales that were bad. But the one definitely I want to bring up is the Quantum Leap finale.
I'd be so pissed
that they weren't sure if the series was going to continue or not, even though it was a natural conclusion where he found a way home at the end of that episode. But instead of saying that he made it home, they wanted to keep it open for next season. So literally it's just like, you found your way home, and then he travels, and then there's just a line at the end being like, he never made it home, is the only thing you see at the end. So because there was no additional series, it's like you've been traveling and inhabiting people's bodies for season after season, trying to find your way to time travel back to your home. And he's like, you can finally make it back. And then at the end, they're like, oh, you can make it back. You can get there. And he's like, cool, peace. I'm going home. And then it goes to a black screen. And it's like, he never made it home. And that's the end of the series.
Oh, no.
It's so fucked. Yeah. It's so deeply fucked.
So God, that's like the end of a bad episode of Intervention, where they like really take to the rehab, and they're like, we've never seen progress like this. And then it's like the next day they return to drugs. And it's like, are you joking? I had
they set a school on fire and then die.
Right. Oh my God. So emotional.
My only one line is Weeds was awful.
Oh yeah.
The end. Seasons 1, 2, 3, fantastic.
Agreed.
And then it was on, I watched it for season 4, 5, 6, 7,
me too.
8.
Me too.
Awful. It got worse and worse and worse. And I just kept hoping it would get better. And then the finale was just garbage, terrible, didn't make any sense.
When her brother-in-law breastfed off of her, that's when we all should have left, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't.
When Andy, because I barely remember the show, but in the end, when Andy like fucked her on the lawn.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow. I forgot about that.
And he was like in love with her. And then he was like, he fucked her. And he's like, you know what? Fuck you. And he left. I was like, good for you, Andy.
Yeah.
Fuck her. She sucks.
Yeah. Well, and she is the classic anti-hero.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that.
She was meant to be the anti-hero through the whole thing. And the first few, like, you're like, oh, this is cool. I get it all. And then it just got worse. And you're like, and then the plots got so impossible. Like, she kept getting out of shit. And you're like, no, I want her to get, like, cacked in a hall, in a dark alley. Like, she never got what she deserved. But yeah, like, it was just like she kept, like, getting in these impossible situations and then getting out of them. And I'm like,
it was stupid.
No! I'm like,
Can I make a very quick end shout out? Just because I feel like in this kind of scenario, it needs to be said that I just got to give a really quick shout out to Breaking Bad, which I feel like had the best ending of all time because they planned it from the beginning. There was no winging it. Yeah. Every single bit of that plot point was planned from day one. And if you're not doing that, it's going to go off the rails.
Yeah. I will slightly disagree with you. The best series finale of all time is 6 Feet Under. Bar none.
Okay, really okay. That's, you're 100% right.
We're not done with the worst series.
I'm sorry. I wanted to weigh in. I wanted to weigh in on my best.
I'm sorry. I got too excited.
I have to, because there's going to be people that are going to be attacking our fucking social media if I do not at least mention Battlestar fucking Galactica.
Oh, yeah.
Because holy shit. Okay, so you don't have to know anything about the show, but the whole thing is they create basically androids. Androids come back, fucking destroy all the planets that people are on. They end up on this whole convoy of ships trying to find a new planet to live on, right? That's the whole concept of the series. So midway through season 3, they find a planet that was determined to be Earth, right?
Okay.
The whole series, that's whatever all the things are pointing to, and they're like, Earth, this is Earth, right? End of the first part of season 3. Second part of season 3, it's been annihilated by nuclear annihilation.
Sure.
It's done. So cool, I guess we got to do more. That was the natural conclusion. You could have left it where they found Earth and you're done. So if you're watching Battlestar, that is the natural stopping point. Do yourself a favor, because Starbuck, who's one of the pilots and stuff, Katie Sackhoff plays Starbuck.
Yep.
At one point, like goes into like a fucking wormhole or something and becomes like a fucking angel. And then she like comes back and people are like, how'd you come back? She's like, I don't know. And they're like, cool.
Don't worry about it.
And
shut up.
Yeah, like they're like, how'd you come back? And they're like, yeah, close enough. Anyway, back to your normal duties. And then they get to like Earth, quote unquote, and it's not this actual Earth, but they're like, well, let's name it Earth. And it's like 10,000 years in the past of our Earth. And they're like, yeah, I guess we're just going to fuck the cavemen here. Then Angel's like, I've let you find your path. And then she just fucking disappears. And you're like, okay, so what is she? And there's no answer. And Starbuck's just like a fucking, like, she's like, like, they're like, right, Starbuck? And she's just not next to them. Afterwards.
What?
Like, she's fucking Batman next to the bat signal.
She was a shared figment of their imagination.
It's almost like Commissioner Gordon was like, well, we really have to find those criminals. Anyway, what was that? And looks back, and then Batman's gone. That's what Starbuck did. But she's an angel instead or something. It's some fucking dog shit. It's horrifying.
Can I just say everything you just, because I had never seen Battlestar Galactica, everything you just said enthralled me. Is this supernatural in space?
I mean, basically the last season is, yeah.
You're just like, I mean, and then there's like God, and then they're like, whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's like season like 8.
Anytime you try to inject.
How often do they kill the main character and bring him back? That's
like 18, 20,000 times.
Yes, that's how often does that happen on Battlestar.
That's the thing. It's like there's so many series when you try to inject religion into something that didn't have a religious overtone beforehand. And you know what? There's plenty of series that have a religious overtone to it that works.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
But
touched by an angel, right? Am I right, you guys?
Seventh Heaven.
Oh,
Seventh
shit.
Heaven.
Oh,
yes, man. That marijuana episode fucked me up. Whose is it?
But yeah, you inject that in later where you're like, oh, by the way, like we haven't explored religion. Let's do that.
Yeah.
No, don't.
No.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Just please don't.
Well, it's very obscure, but if anyone's seen Regular Show, it is easily the best ending to a TV series ever. Like pop, like I literally cried at the end of that. Like it was so well done. It was just well done.
For Amy and I feel like one of our favorites is The Good Place.
Oh, yeah.
God.
All
Tears
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
From the beginning to the end.
All the feels.
Amy Roberts is wearing a Good Place t-shirt. Didn't even realize that.
It was themed good for the theme today.
Oh, that was so good.
And especially we were talking about religion being thematic to the series. Like that's actually a perfect example is that I am not religious.
Yeah.
And I loved that series
so
because
much.
it played with the concepts of what religion actually is. And I thought it was incredibly smartly written and the characters were incredibly well fleshed out and they had a natural conclusion with the characters. You felt satiated.
Yeah, closure.
Yeah.
They had a story arc. They knew what they were doing. 4 seasons, it's done. And you were
So
like,
good.
yeah, you know, of course we could have watched more, but then
I'd love
it
to.
would have been,
not the same. Well, because you're supposed to want more. That's the point.
Yeah.
Is that
it would have been
things
forced.
end before you get to be done with them a lot of the time. And
Hear
that's
that,
life.
Rolling Stones?
Hear that?
Wow.
Hear that, Futurama reboot?
Oh, God. Oh, cross fingers,
Ouch.
please.
Ouch.
Hey, John DiMaggio's on board.
He
so
is finally,
Let's hope.
All right, speaking on board, we got our last little bit here, so let's do Making a Drunken Scene.
Making a drunken scene.
I need help. Someone send some money.
Amy Roberts is over here being like, what the fuck did I sign off on? We've got Game of Thrones and Seinfeld, so...
I would love Seinfeld.
Do we have some Game of Throners that want to join me on this? I'll take a Game of Thrones.
As I say, it's just you and me, I think.
Okay.
So we have to.
Do you want to be Daenerys?
No, I'm obviously John.
Okay, well then you do Jon Snow. I'll be the
I love how you keep
queen.
saying Daenerys like it's D''Narius.
I wish it was.
It should be.
Daenerys.
Daenerys. Okay. So I'm Mama of Dragons.
Yeah, you my auntie.
Okay.
Daenerys.
All right.
We could have had such beautiful babies.
Beautiful, fucked up little babies. All right. Here we go. We do it together. We break the wheel together.
You're my queen now and always.
Whisper.
Beautiful.
Solid choice.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
So, yeah, there you go. So you don't have to watch season 8 of Game of Thrones now. You basically have it down.
Been there, done that.
Yep.
And to our Seinfelders over here, we've got a Jerry and
George
conversation.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Here. So, so who's who?
I'm Jerry.
I'm George.
So Tori is Jerry. Amy is George.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. This is from the series finale, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll read the little line here. The conversation from the pilot episode of Seinfeld.
See, now, to me, that button is in the worst possible spot.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The second button is the key button. It literally makes or breaks the shirt. Look at it. It's too high. It's in no man's land.
Haven't we had this conversation before?
You think?
I think we have.
Yeah. Maybe we have. Jerry.
I didn't realize that there was some family tree action between George Costanza and Christopher Walken, but apparently
honestly,
there's a little bit. Yeah,
I hear it.
I feel like that's like a 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever.
Yeah,
they're close.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the end of this episode of Geeks Under the Influence. Thank you so much for sticking around for our nonsense. Make sure to rate, review, subscribe, all those things to this show and the other shows on the GUI network. Definitely thank you to the Creep-A-Zoids for the intro and outro of Dead by Dawn. We'll see you next time for another episode of Geeks Under the Influence. I'm Mike the Hobbit. Join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit!
Join us or die! Join us or die! Or I will swallow your soul!
GUIPodcast.com.
I need help. Someone send some money.